In the south, Ukrainian artillery is still actively exploiting the increased concentration of Russian troops and conducting many fire missions. As the Ukrainians pulled their battery closer to the Dnipro River, many Russian bases started suffering from Ukrainian precision strikes. Today at night, there was a huge explosion in Chaplynka, where the Russians had their base and from where they conducted most of their airstrikes in the Kherson region. Interestingly, yesterday's reports suggested that the Russians almost completely withdrew from this base, and the satellite footage indicated that the Russians evacuated not only aircraft but also trucks and other vehicles. However, it seems like they still had a lot of ammunition on the base, which explains the detonation. The Ukrainians also targeted a Russian base in Skadovsk. This is very good news because the Russians turned Skadovsk into one of their main bases for assembling and launching Iranian drones, which consistently hit Odessa and my hometown, Mykolaiv. A few days ago, one of these drones hit a residential building and as a result, all 5 floors collapsed, and many people died. Some of them were friends of my family. The last notable target of the Ukrainian strikes became a Russian concentration area in Dnipro River, where the Ukrainians struck a building with 500 soldiers. The Ukrainian General Staff reported that later the Russians sent away 2 trucks full of dead bodies and that half 100 soldiers had been wounded. The Russian public has long revealed the high losses among the newly mobilized personnel, so those who are being trained on the bases in Russia are well aware of what is waiting for them. The tensions increase further, as the bureaucratic and inefficient system does not even give them an opportunity to prepare for the war. Today, on one of the bases, the soldiers revolted against their officers, and this moment happened to be captured on tape. The soldier is aggressively criticizing and humiliating the officer right in the face. He is ridiculing and desperately questioning why they are forced to march in lockstep instead of learning how to operate on the ground. He asks why all their queries regarding the lack of basic equipment are being ignored. He scorns the ongoing target practicing and training. He says that they had only 3 target practicing sessions, with no targets and with only 15 bullets given during each session. He says that out of 2 weeks of training, they had only 5 training sessions, while the rest of the time, they were just waiting in the barracks to be deployed. Then the soldier gets angry at the officer's dismissive attitude, and the confrontation becomes a little physical. This speaks volumes about the current situation of the Russian army. If all units undergo preparations of the same quality, and this soldier mentions that they do, then mobilizing 300,000 soldiers will unlikely have a substantial impact on the ability of the Russians to conduct offensive operations, which is still supposedly their primary objective. In the meantime, while Russian bureaucracy and nepotism are ruining the Russian war campaign, direct criticism of Putin within the pro-war community reaches almost unprecedented highs. A Russian ideologist, Alexander Dugin, openly criticized Putin for failing to uphold Russian ideology by surrendering Kherson city. A nationalist propagandist Vladimir Solovyov is increasingly calling for full mobilization and the firing of incompetent officials following the Russian surrender of Kherson city. A Russian political commentator Olga Skabieva started saying that Russian authorities clearly did not expect that the war would be so long and difficult and that most countries would turn against Russia and support Ukraine. All these tensions and breakdowns inside Russia are very good news for the Ukrainians. If you are against the invasion of Ukraine and want to support the work that I am doing, consider making a purchase in the online store UA Supporter. Here you can find a lot of products with Ukrainian symbols, to not only show your support for this channel, but also for Ukraine.